In episode 9, Selena Gomez is getting kind of serious in her relationship with her boyfriend, Fenrir Greyback. She's just trying to have dates with him as much as she can possibly have. And every single time, he runs away when it gets dark outside. Oh no, what could possibly be happening here? Person named Fenrir Greyback uh, always runs away when it's dark outside. So we learned in season 1, werewolves actually in this universe do not only turn at the full moon, they turn every single night. What could be happening here? Anyway, so Selena Gomez just like straight up assumes that he's cheating on her because like he always is leaving, must be going to hang out with another girl like right after he's hanging out with her, of course. So she like ends up following him and ends up enlisting Harper to follow him. Well, it turns out they find him in an alleyway, like turning into a werewolf. Who knew? This is entirely surprising to all of us. But he ends up turning into a werewolf. But this time he turns into a what they're calling full wolf, uh, because they decide not to make the rules the same as it was in season 1. So when Selena Gomez's then twink, now twunk brother, dated a werewolf in season 1, she just like did dog things. She like scratched her ears and like chased squirrels and caught frisbees and shit. And that was about it. And it really was not that big of a deal. Like it was a plot point that like being a werewolf is not that big a deal. You just like do dog stuff occasionally. But this time he turns into what they are calling a full wolf. And he has like a fully hairy face and there's like teeth and stuff. And then once he sees that Selena Gomez sees him in the state, he's like, oh, wait. Well, I don't have to be a full wolf. He can like dial it back a couple notches, which it's not explained at any point how this happens, but like he says, there's a quote. Sometimes he goes full wolf when he doesn't need to. No explanation of when he needs to go full wolf or how he dials it back a little bit, but I guess that's what happens. So turns out she's okay with it, he's okay with it, and they end up kissing. And then Selena Gomez is like, wait, I remember from season 1 when my then twink, now twunk brother had a girlfriend who was a werewolf. Like when he kissed her, he turned into a werewolf. And he just explains this away. Fenrir Greyback is like, well, that's only for mutts. I'm a full bred werewolf, so like I'm better than they are, and you can kiss me without turning into a werewolf. So that's what happens. And let me look at my notes and figure out what the fuck is going on here. Mummy. So so they end up figuring all that out and being like, okay, all right, time to go attack the mummy that stole Juliet from my twunk brother. So they figure out using his scent, because werewolves have like magical scent powers. So like literally, Selena Gomez's twunk brother gives him a piece of floss that Juliet used one time, and is like, okay, find her somewhere, anywhere on the globe. And like apparently, Fenrir Greyback finds Juliet in Transylvania, which is like fucking halfway across the globe. How does the scent travel that far? It doesn't make sense, but I guess like I don't know, magic. So they find Fenrir Greyback. Fenrir Greyback finds Juliet in Transylvania, and they go into like this fucking castle where the mummy is just like doing mummy stuff, and has trapped Juliet inside like a fucking mural type thing. And the mummy is just way too easy to defeat. So all they really have to do to defeat the mummy is just like pull on his wrappings, whatever they call the wrappings that are around a mummy. I don't know. It's like fucking toilet paper wrapped around a person. But they just have to pull on it, and then it just like unravels, and then the mummy is gone, and then they have to put a scarab into a spot on a wall that it literally says like place scarab here. It literally has that on there. It's way too easy. But they bring back Juliet. They defeat the mummy by like unraveling the fucking toilet paper from him, and that seems to be happily ever after. But then Selena Gomez's boyfriend mentions to Juliet, like, oh, I haven't seen you in 300 years, which raises a question for me. How long do werewolves live? I mean, we know that vampires live forever, unless they're destroyed by some sort of vampire killing method. But apparently, werewolves also live forever. I don't know. Nobody explains this. But Selena Gomez's werewolf boyfriend makes some comment like, I still love you, Juliet. And he's like horrified by the fact that he just said that, because like apparently werewolves have no self-control, no explanation for any of this, but it's just like everybody's freaked the fuck out. Nobody's comfortable with this. And Selena Gomez looks at him like, what the fuck did you just say? And Selena Gomez's twunk brother looks at Juliet and is like, what the fuck did he just say? And Juliet is the only person who's on top of this. And is like, I don't love him. I love you, Selena Gomez's twunk brother. And so like their relationship is cemented there. But like fucking Selena Gomez's werewolf boyfriend fucked everything up between them, and it's all going to be horrible. Before Selena Gomez's boyfriend told Juliet that he loves her, he gave Selena Gomez a necklace. It's in the shape of a heart, and it glows when you are in love with the person who gave it to you. Um, well, when the whole kerfuffle happened in Transylvania, Selena Gomez just threw it because she was mad and like wanted to throw it away. Well, so she goes home and is dejected and oh, just mourning the fact that oh no, my werewolf boyfriend loves Juliet. Blah blah blah. Well, so Selena Gomez's dad tries to cheer her up in a way that's definitely illegal. So he pulls a prank on one of their customers at their restaurant. He knowingly serves a customer prune juice when he ordered cola, and he gives him this prune juice and watches as the guy drinks it and is horrified and runs away and is like, I'm never coming back to this restaurant again. Bro, you can't knowingly give somebody a drink that you know is going to be offensive to them. I mean, that's battery. You could get sued for battery for knowingly giving somebody a beverage or food that you know they're not going to want and trying to trick them. But he does this in hopes of cheering up Selena Gomez, and it doesn't work. So he just did this for no particular reason other than just messing with customers. So fuck you, Selena Gomez's dad. That's not acceptable. But Selena Gomez's boyfriend comes back and is like, I'm so sorry. Werewolves don't have any self control, so I couldn't control myself when I said that I love her. Blah, 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 blah. I still love you. And Selena Gomez, for some reason, falls for this. And it's like, well, I don't think you still love me. So he says, remember that necklace? We're going to go back to Transylvania and find that necklace so I can prove that I still love you. Bro, that doesn't change the fact that you love Juliet and that you told her that you've loved her for 300 fucking years. You can love two people at once. And that doesn't make what you did acceptable. But for some reason, Selena Gomez is like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's go to Transylvania to go find that necklace. What the fuck? But Selena Gomez's brothers and Juliet follow along because they want to stop this whole. Well, Selena Gomez's little brother wants to be best friends with Fenrir Greyback, but the others, Selena Gomez's twunk brother and Juliet, are there to stop it. Well, turns out while they're in Transylvania, Selena Gomez and Fenrir Greyback are trying to find the necklace, and this ends up with Fenrir Greyback attacking Selena Gomez's twunk brother and Juliet, which, like, bro, this is a huge red flag. I mean, he transformed into a werewolf and then attacked them. Even if he loves you, this is not an acceptable way for a boyfriend to behave. He should not be attacking your twunk brother. He should not be attacking your twunk brother's girlfriend. You are in a toxic relationship, Selena Gomez. But this whole thing ends up with him putting, she puts the necklace on him, and it's like, oh, you do still love me. But then he fights with Juliet and with Selena Gomez's twunk brother. He, like, almost kills her twunk brother. And then Juliet comes in and intervenes, and she bites him. Well, turns out werewolves and vampires have these weird powers against each other. So if a vampire bites a werewolf, the werewolf turns into a wolf, just like a normal ass wolf, like full on tail and walking around like just a wolf. And if a werewolf scratches a vampire, the vampire loses the vampire powers, which include looking like you're younger than you are. So they get into this fight, and eventually Fenrir Greyback turns into a wolf and just wanders off. And then Juliet ends up losing her vampire powers, and it's visible that she is like thousands of years old. For some reason, Juliet and Selena Gomez's twunk brother decide, well, now that you're old, I guess we can't be together. Which what? It doesn't make sense, but they mutually decide, oh no, well, I guess we're gonna have to part and we can never see each other again. Oh, this is so sad. Oh well, there's nothing we can do other than just like get over the fact that she lost her vampire powers. But whatever. And then Selena Gomez is really sad that the wolf now is no longer her boyfriend. This is largely Selena Gomez's fault. She decided that she was going to go off to Transylvania to go and find this necklace and decide whether or not her ex-boyfriend now still loves her. Also, Selena Gomez's little brother is absolutely fucking terrible in this episode. He is entirely focused on being best friends with this werewolf. Completely does not care about the rest of the family and about everything that everything that Fenrir Greyback has done. And is just he ultimately tries to sabotage Selena Gomez's twunk brother and Juliet as they try to stop the shenanigans. Just terrible, absolutely inexcusable behavior from Selena Gomez and her little brother. Selena Gomez's twunk brother and Juliet are really the only people who behave reasonably in this episode. In episode 11, Selena Gomez's twunk brother ends up on the basketball team, which he apparently is the first member of the Alien Language Club ever to be on the basketball team. So congratulations. But he mostly sits on the bench and doesn't do anything. I guess when you sit on the bench in basketball, that's where you sit when you're not playing. Um, so Selena Gomez apparently is a cheerleader. I guess this is a carryover from when she was friends with the Franken girl, and they tried out together for the cheerleading team. Well, Selena Gomez is entirely enthusiastic about being a cheerleader, and she is just making sarcastic comments the whole time. She does cheers that are like not into it. Like, why would you be a cheerleader and not actually participate in the cheerleading? But that's what she does. She's like making sarcastic comments in the forms of cheers and thinks it's funny, and nobody else thinks it's funny. Well, so there's this boy who's like conductor of the pep band or something. His name is, I'm going to say George. Yep, his name's George. And she, for some reason, is really into him. And he looks familiar to me. I had to look it up. So it's Austin Butler, who apparently is now more famous, and I recognized him. But she's trying to impress him, and she thinks that her sarcastic comments are going to impress him. They don't. I mean, he is actually extremely annoyed by the fact that she's there making these sarcastic comments instead of actually participating in what she's supposed to be doing. And she finds this completely baffling. Like, what? He didn't find my stupid ass comments funny, and he doesn't find me charming? Oh, boo hoo. So what she ends up doing is like a spell to make her positive. So she, after she casts this spell, becomes positive about everything. And apparently this takes all of 10 seconds to impress Austin Butler. She goes and cheers for realsies and is enthusiastic about it. And it takes all of 10 seconds for him to change his opinion, like, oh, she was a sarcastic piece of shit, but now she's actually doing what she's supposed to be doing? Wow, I think I'm in love. Unrealistic switch of his attitude toward her, but I guess that works. So the problem with the positivity spell is she becomes too positive. So while she's cheering for her team, it really like makes them better, because apparently cheerleading has an effect on the quality of the performance of the players. I don't know if there have been studies on this. It may be, but this is like extreme in this circumstance. I don't know if it's connected to magic, but I don't think they did a spell saying like, hey, make our cheerleading, make the team good. But I don't know. There may be some sort of study saying that sports ball players do better when cheerleaders are supporting them. I don't know. But Selena Gomez's twunk brother ends up getting off the bench and playing for a while. And while she's cheering enthusiastically, he does impressive stuff. Like he kicks a bunch of touchdowns and gets a hat trick and all of that stuff. But then she becomes too positive. And she's like, well, you know what? We shouldn't be cheering for only one team. We should be cheering for both teams. And so she ends up cheering for both teams. Everybody's pissed off at her about it. And that ruins everything. Austin Butler doesn't like her anymore after she cheers for the other team. The cheerleaders don't like her anymore. And their team ends up losing because her cheering causes the other team to perform too well. Yep, that's about it. Nothing really important happens in this episode other than cheerleaders have magical powers to make teams perform really well.